Alrighty, welcome to another cube draft. It's a 4-on-4. I'm battling alongside Slacks, Slade, and Tuxedo Rose, battling against the sandiest of dogs, who I'm actually passing to, Falcon Eye, Hank, and Krasha. So, well, we've got a pretty clear pick. I'm going to take Oko, Thief of Crowns. Really good card, top 20-ish in the cube. And ship a Hull Breacher, Windswept Heath, Stoneforge Mystic. I think Sandy's probably going to take Hull Breacher. Sandy does like drafting White Weenie, as we know, but also likes drafting Blue-Red. And Hull Breacher, I think, is the best card in this. Oh, there's Reanimate, too. Okay, depending on what Sandy first picks, probably going to take Reanimate or Hull Breacher. I think Reanimate's actually a little better than Hull Breacher, but if you take an early Hull Breacher, as I have done many times, you can definitely draft around it. I'm still just going to take Oko, though. You got to take Oko here. Oko's Broko. Time Walk. Oh, really, Krasha? Oh, really? Okay. Dang, this pack actually is pretty stacked. There's also an Undermountain Adventure and a Channel. Well, we're slamming Time Walk, so I love that. Sandy is probably going to just take the Adventure. I don't know. It depends on what the first couple picks are. It's the best card, though. There's also outs that Sandy goes Stoneforge Mystic last pack, Mother Runes this pack. That wouldn't be unreasonable, but I'm going to take Time Walk. What's going to come back here? Not much. Just one of the kind of decent cards is going to come back. This pack is pretty mediocre. There's a Gataxian Probe, which is good. There's Impulse, which is okay. Council's Judgment, which is good. I might just take Sylvan Caryatid. I think it and Council's Judgment are the two best cards here. Probe is good too. Probe is very good. But I have an Oko already, and also Time Walk is really good in the green decks because one of the ways to maximize Time Walk, and look, I know Time Walk's great. You don't have to jump through hoops to make it good, but might as well make it better. One of the ways to make it better is have creatures in play so you get an extra attack step, or to be play a 4-mana spell, then play a Time Walk on 6 mana. Green helps with both those. Green also has Eternal Witness, which is really good with Time Walk. So I think I take Sylvan Caryatid. Also, Caryatid's just the best mana dork in a deck that doesn't have very many creatures. I could end up blue-green, and the reason this is so good is because of hexproof, you just aren't vulnerable in a way that you would if you were playing 1 or 2, 5 creatures in your control deck. So this pack, we're passing no white cards, which is good. I just passed Sandy Council's Judgment to go along with Mother Runes and Stoneforge. Haven't passed much in the way of black either. There is a Jiraga Tree Speaker here, which is probably what I should take. It's the most powerful card. I mean, there's Overgrown Tomb. Gearhulk can't flashback Time Walk. Yeah, I just have to take Tree Speaker. Ballista's good too, but I mean, if green's open, we can go that direction. This pack has Teferi, which I do like. Fauna Shaman, I'm not the biggest fan of. It's a Survival of the Fittest on a stick. There's also Fairy Mastermind, which is decent, but I think Fairy Mastermind's not as good in the green decks. I think Survival's a little weak. I might just take Teferi, because I could easily be a Bant Planeswalkers deck, and Time Walk and Planeswalkers is also really good. All right, let's just take the Tef here. Also, Tree Speaker aside, I could end up in one of those Bant kind of control decks that doesn't have a lot of creatures and is still just playing Caryatid and some Talismans to ramp into Planeswalkers and Time Walk. I think that's also a pretty legit way to go, but obviously getting Oko and Time Walk picks 1 and 2 is just awesome. If there was a good mana dork here, I would have just taken that, but I don't think I don't think taking Fauna Shaman or Survival, in fact, there's both of them in the same pack, was going to be all that impressive. We'll see. Okay, so this pack has Tireless Tracker and Sakura Tribelder, as well as passing Flicker and Skyclave, which are both very good. So once again, which green card do we want? Tracker is very good. Tribelder is also very good. I again do like Tribelder as an accelerant you can play in control decks and feel pretty good about it. You can also even play this with Wraths, for example. But Tracker is a really nice card. Really nice with Time Walk. Tracker Time Walk lets you just do tons of damage. I have 2 accelerants, 2 Planeswalkers, and a Time Walk. Do I take another payoff or do I take another accelerant? I think I'm going to take Tribelder. It's pretty close, though. Okay, here I'm just going to take Preordain. I've got some great cards. Finding more of them seems awesome. And then Sandy can have his choice of Lauren or Ephemerate, maybe Ravages, depending where he's at. Probably takes Lauren. But Preordain is good. Yeah, Tri-Builder versus Tracker is close. I kind of default to just taking the cheaper card when things are really close, because if I end up with not enough accelerants, it's kind of a disaster. Whereas like payoffs like Tireless Tracker, like I'm not going to be too short on good things to do with my mana. In fact, I already have Oko and Teferi here. This Tree Speaker I'm not sure about yet, because after Tree Speaker, saw a couple packs empty of green cards. I mean, we'll see. What I like is that I could veer into the heavy green deck with Tree Speaker and all these cards would be great in it, like blue-green Splash Teferi. Or I could still just be heavy blue playing these like kind of resilient accelerators and these planeswalkers. So, I mean, both cases seem pretty good. Well, 8th pick Natural Order, that's a thing. There's also a Wall of Roots in the pack and a Nissa. I'm just going to take the Natural Order. I think that the payoff on Natural Order is pretty strong, and I am not unhappy I took Tri-Builder over Tracker given that. It's a shame have to pass a Wall of Roots, and then passing Sandy, Vanguard, and Lingering Souls. Haven't seen a single red card. Krasha is almost assuredly playing red, would be my guess. Okay, now this pack. Renin 6 can be good, but I guess it's pretty hard to pass up a blue-green Talisman, because I could end up blue-green. My only hesitance with blue-green Talisman is when you have Natural Order in your deck, you really want all of your ramp stuff to be creatures that you could sacrifice to Natural Order. And I don't care about passing a Student of Warfare, that's fine. I still think Talisman's probably a little more likely to make the cut. Because I kind of view this Natural Order and this Jiraga Tree Speaker as the like heavy green component. Oh wow, Elvish Mystic 10th pick. Yeah, all right. Message received, slamming the Mystic. And now we get to take Rex Sage, which is a perfect thing to... Basically, things like Rex Sage and Wall of Blossoms, you like play them, get your value, your opponent doesn't want to use a removal spell on them, and then you sack them to Natural Order. So we're missing the big Natural Order targets, but we haven't seen any of those go around. I'm going to put the Talisman of Curiosity in the sideboard for now. I don't really want to end up playing that. Pass a late Paragon and Mirror Entity. Those are like kind of marginal white cards. I don't think I care about Black-Green Talisman. Firestorm is a cute sideboard card against aggro, but I think I might just take Cityscape Leveler. If I end up in a channel deck or just a really heavy ramp deck, the Leveler could make the cut. Honestly, I think Survival of the Fittest is just kind of bad. I have 5 cheap creatures, which is good for the survival deck, but Relic is a really good sideboard against Reanimator. I think I'll just take the sideboard card. Then I'll hate the Flicker Wisp, I'll pass Vindicate, hate the Ephemerate. All right. White is very open, but I am happy with where I'm at here. I have Time Walk. I didn't even open Power. I can complain about not opening Power and have Time Walk, you know? It's a nice 2-for-1. This pack is terrible. Wow. There's no playables in this pack. Okay. It's unfortunate. I mean, I guess I could just take Zagoth Triome. What else could I take? I don't really want to be a Worldly Tutor deck unless I have Channel. Thieving Skydiver is okay. Is that better than Zagoth Triome? I don't have a blue-green land yet. I have a bunch of early green cards. I don't love tap lands in the 1-drop deck as much. There's also Narset, but I don't think I'm going to want Narset in this heavy creature deck as much. Maybe I take Thieving Skydiver, especially since there's a decent chance Krasha opened a piece of power like a Lotus or Sol Ring, and that's why Time Walk got passed. Yeah, all right, I'll just begrudgingly take a Skydiver. Oh, I'm probably snapping off, as it were. Snapcaster. Once you have Time Walk, Snapcaster Mage becomes such a high pick. There is also Tropical Island, which would be a really good card to pick up. I think Trop is better than Wooded in this position because it's just a blue-green land already. Ponder's worse than Snapcaster for me. There's also a Sanctum, which might wheel. Leovold, which might wheel. All right, so the problem with Snapcaster is I only have 2 targets right now. I am going to look, I mean, technically Natural Order, I guess. Yeah, but Snapcaster Time Walk is just ridiculous. Snapcaster's not going to wheel or anything, so let's just take Snappy. There's a lot of blue-green lands in the cube, so I'll do that. This pack, well, I might just take Dak Faden here. I'd rather splash Dak than Teferi, and I think that passing a DAC to someone who could be playing red is probably better than passing like I don't care about passing 2 good black cards in Shieldred. If I were to take a straight green card, I guess I'd just take Thragtusk, but I feel like Thragtusk is super replaceable, even with Natural Order. Okay, next up, I guess Green Suns. I have 2 1-drops, some 2-drops, and presumably I'm going to get a good, more expensive card. Passing a Dothi Voidwalker back. Haven't seen much white, unsurprisingly. I like Green Suns, though. I think Green Suns is like a pretty solid little card. Now there's Fertile Ground, which is good. Lotus Cobra, which is good. Force of Negation, which is pretty good. I wonder if I go for the greed pick. If I take Force of Negation, I have enough cards to pitch cast it. Will I wheel one of these 2 creatures? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably not. I don't think it's super likely. I might wheel Copperline Gorge, though. Or do I just take Lotus Cobra? Lotus Cobra would be the card I would take to just play. The thing is, Force of Negation adds such a good aspect to your deck, and it's exactly where these decks fall kind of short. So I think I am going to take Force of Negation. Okay, now I can just take Delighted Halfling. It's a fixer for Dak. And Oko, because they're legendary. Wait, no, they're Planeswalkers. Those are not the same thing. Are they? Yeah, you can cast them. What am I thinking? I just like brain farted. There's also a Brazen Borrower, but a 1-drop Accelerant is what I'm looking for. Passing up Augur of Autumn and then a bunch of random blue stuff. Deceiver Exarch too. Oh wow, Mana Leak? All right, I'll snap off a Mana Leak. I also don't have to be like turbo green. I guess I haven't picked up that Natural Order target. I haven't seen a Troxa or a Craterhoof are like the 2 ones I like the most. I could also use something a little bigger for this Green Suns. Wow, then this pack has nothing? I guess I could take Horizon Canopy. It helps play Teferi. It's a green card. I don't really care about passing both Bone Shards and Shadowgrave and Edict and Will. Like, whatever. Just pass all those. Yeah, I don't really know if I'm splashing anything yet. Like, I have a Dak and a Teferi that I could splash. This pack was strangely light on green cards. Then this is the bad pack again. We're back in the bad place. I guess I could just hate draft a pile on here, but it didn't seem like that was... Or I could hate draft Imperial Recruiter because I did pass twin stuff going that direction. Or I could just take Prismatic Ending. If I splash white, Prismatic Ending is a decent card, but how likely am I to play that? I'm not going to play Worldly Tutor. Let's just hate draft the Imperial. Oh, Trop Wield. We take those. Really? With Botanical Sanctum and Trop both wheeling means blue-green has to be open. Oh, all right, I will take Thragtusk now. I like that a lot more than Explore. Picking up Thragtusk makes Green Suns a lot better. It's decent on either side of Natural Order, honestly. It's not ideal on either side, but it's playable on either side. I guess I'm more likely to splash Prismari Command than I am to splash Maelstrom Pulse. So, and I think it's a little more likely crosses on blue-red than on black-green. Okay, so this pack was kind of bad. It didn't really advance the Natural Order theme too well. I guess I got a Delighted Halfling. But I did pick up Force, Mana Leak, Snapcaster. Yeah, so Titania came back. No, I'm actually going to hate the Direfleet Daredevil. I don't want to get my Time Walk Daredeviled. And I don't look very close to casting Titania in this deck. Okay, Voice of Resurgence versus Knight of Autumn. I already have a Rex Sage, so I think I take the Voice. It's also a nice little thing to Green Suns for. It's just a powerful card to have in play. Okay, if we pick up some good Natural Order stuff, here we are. Craterhoof Behemoth. Yeah, we're just going to take it. No reason to mess around. Passing nothing that good. An Adeline, a Wasteland, Time Twister. Rolling Earthquake's annoying. This deck will struggle against that card, but all right, we'll take the Hoof. Big Hoofs. Okay, now we just need an Atroxa and we're set. What do we got? Some powerful cards. Lion's Eye Diamond and Tolarian Academy. There's Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp is pretty good in this style of deck. I've got an Elvish Mystic, Scourge Tribe Elder, Rex Sage, Skydiver, Snapcaster. Also passing Skull Clamp after passing Stoneforge and a bunch of white cards And then I do love Grist when I have Green Suns, but I think that's okay. I'll just take the Skull Clamp here and maybe wheel the Hornet Queen. That would be decent. Oh man, there's a Solitude in this pack. Don't love passing that. But Arbor Elf is going to be pretty nice. I like V-Click too, but I don't think I'm supposed to take V-Click over Arbor Elf here. Especially I just took a Skull Clamp. I could hate draft the Solitude. I don't think I'd even play it because I am pretty committed to blue-green. This deck is probably not making it. Yeah, I think I just have to take the Arbor Elf here. What a shame to have that Solitude there. The thing is, Sandy also would get Invasion of Gobakhan instead, which is not as good, but it's still pretty good. So splashing white off of Caryatid, Tribelder, Horizon Canopy for Voice Teferi. That actually seems fine, because Green Sun's getting Voice of Resurgence is nice. Teferi's looking decent in this deck specifically. I could still go for an Atroxa, and I wouldn't mind another blue interactive card, I suppose. Let's pick 3. So we still got plenty of picks left to pick up a little bit of action here. What do we got? Oh, there's the Atroxa. All right, I'm going to take Atroxa. I think having the ability to natural order for Atroxa is so powerful because it makes natural order into a win condition if you have like 3 creatures in play, or if you just have 1, you just get this and draw a bunch of cards. I do love Spellseeker when I have Time Walk, but Atroxa, I think, makes the natural order too good. Might wheel consider Spellseeker, passing a Luminarch Aspirant. Okay, this pack has a bunch of white cards still. Wall of Blossoms would be really nice for this deck. I wonder if I should just take Path, because it's the best white card here, though actually that part doesn't matter too much, because Sandy's going to get Blade Splicer or Thalia, assuming Sandy is playing white. The red-green land doesn't really matter too much, because I don't think I'm splashing Dak. It wouldn't be crazy to do so. I think Path might be the pick, though. I like Wall of Blossoms, but I have a lot of cheap green creatures. I'm not really short on that. And oh, I also have Snapcaster, too. Yeah, just having one bit of disruption is really nice. Oh, wow. So they're not playing Twin, probably. Not a balanced deck. I think I'm going to take Sylvan Library. It's that or Garruk Wildspeaker. Garruk is really good with Time Walk, though. Turn 4 Garruk, untap 2 lands, Time Walk is a pretty saucy play. Yeah, I guess I have all this ramp too. Yeah, no, I'm actually in for Garruk. That's funny. I normally wouldn't make that pick, but, well, the cards you have change the picks you make, as is only right. Passing a late Winds of Abandon and Usher. Probably take Hydroid Krasis, though. I like a card that I can pitch to Force, and this deck's going to have a decent amount of mana. We're not playing a Ramanop deck, and I think Hullbreaker is basically like a worse Krasis, just in terms of like spending your mana nicely. Okay, so this is 25, so I need to cut a couple cards here. I might just sideboard the Thieving Skydiver, and then I could just play 16 land because I have 6 accelerants or something. Oh wow, look at this Force of Will. 8th pick? All right, we're slamming that. That is perfect. Passing a Steel Seraph, Luris. Even Esika's Chariot's good and all, but just getting to have double Force makes your combo matchup so good. And even against just like every deck, getting to make a proactive play and then forcing is really, really strong. Now we need to cut something. And given that I just picked up Force, I don't really want to cut a blue card. Maybe I cut the Voice of Resurgence and side it in the matchups where it's going to be really strong, like when I'm playing against counters or something. Wasteland Wield, huh? I do like Wasteland well enough. Spell Pierce is also really nice. And there's also Retrofitter Foundry. I think I take Wasteland as a combination hate draft / it's going to go in my deck. Like, I think that's fine. Okay, Hornet Queen Wield. Passing 2 good white cards, so I don't really feel too compelled to hate draft one of them. I don't even know which is better in Sandy's deck. If you took the Mother of Runes, this card's awesome. If you don't have enough targets, then Recruiter's a little safer. Hornet Queen, I might not play all of them, but Hornet Queen as an option is pretty nice. All right, I'm going to hate Invasion of Gobakhan. That card is really strong. All right, Coma is another card I'm probably not going to play. No, I'm actually just not going to play Coma. I already have enough natural order targets and things I can cast. Let's just hate that draft the Avacyn. Okay, Wall of Blossoms came back. I actually like that a lot. Not playing either of those and don't care about passing them. So now I need to cut one more card because that wall came back. If I want to play 16 lands, or I need to cut 2 cards to be 17 lands. 16 lands seems okay. I guess I'm not going to play this Forbid, so Sandy could be mono red, I guess. Yeah, Forbid, just not really my jam. All right. Usher of the Fallen, ushering in a new era. Okay, so this deck is, I think, pretty good. Need to cut a couple cards. Let's see. Let's take a look at the deck here. That deck was not good. I didn't record that one, and it was let's just say it was. I don't feel bad that I didn't record it. So this is 2 cards short if I want to play 17 land, 1 card short if I want to play 16 land, and is not playing Hornet Queen or Voice of Resurgence in the main deck. Well, how good is Green Sun Zenith? Let's see. It gets Rex Sage, Thragtusk. On a lot of mana, it gets these things. And it can get a good 1-drop. Yeah, that's probably good enough. I think Preordain is good enough, especially with the 2 forces in the deck. Dorks. Maybe it's Krasis. I don't like cutting blue cards because, again, those forces make it really appealing. All right. I don't want to play 15 lands. I mean, 16 with a Wasteland is already on the low end. Maybe I just take out the Krasis. There's also Thragtusk, but I like Thragtusk as a Green Sun's target, a natural order target against aggro if you're like at really low life, though obviously Atroxa is going to be the target a lot of the time. And I guess when it comes to mana, I have Skull Clamp, so I'm already getting a lot of cards. Yeah, all right. I can buy cutting the Krasis and then playing something like 9 forests, so it's 11, and then 4 islands, it's 5. So it's 5 blue sources from lands, and then another 2, so kind of like 7 blue. Oh, I wonder if that means this Preordain is actually bad. I mean, I don't have to play it. Path to Exile. Oh, I also have to play a Plains. What if? What if I put the Plains in the sideboard, cut the Path, cut the Teferi, put the Krasis back in? And then do I play a 17th land? And then I count Wasteland as the land. I can still just play the Horizon Canopy. I don't mind playing that, because then that gets me another island. So it ups my risk of flooding because I'm playing 17 land, but 2 of them kind of count as spells, and I have Clamp to draw lots of cards. Yeah, this deck doesn't need Teferi. My blue count is still pretty good, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blue cards. Yeah, that's plenty. All right. I actually like this. I think this is pretty good. And not having a Plains in my deck seems pretty nice because my cards are fairly powerful. Let's put a mountain in the sideboard in case I want to side in something there. All right. This looks like a deck. I mean, for getting past Time Walk, you can't complain about that. Alrighty, time for round 1. I am playing against the dog, the sandiest of dogs. I'm going to keep this hand. I need to draw a green to make this hand real good, but if I do, well, then it is. This going Caryatid into Rex Sage, Time Walk, all that stuff is good. Sandy is, in fact, playing the Mono White Life. Another island, huh? All right. It's pretty brutal because Island is just a straight up dead card right now, but or at least very close to it. And I have a lot more forests in my deck, but hopefully we can draw another one here. Forest. There we go. And then now, if I don't draw anything better to do, I could go Time Walk into Thragtusk, effectively a turn 3 Thragtusk. See what he does. Hopefully it's a Steel Seraph. Okay, it's a 3/3 flyer. No other text. Okay. Another forest. Yeah. Let's just time walk. Then play Thragtusk. Hopefully stop drawing lands here at some point. All right. I mean, drawing the first forest was good. Drawing the island, the second forest, and the third forest, like a little less good. Because now my hand is 3 lands and a Rex Sage. Hopefully I get a good Rex Sage target. Mother of Runes. Okay. That's really Sandy's only play. Weird. Because, I mean, I didn't draw... I mean, I guess Force Negation could be good this game, but really want to draw Natural Order, Hydroid Krasis, just like something good. So Sandy had no plays on turns 1 or 2, but then doesn't have a 4th land. So I guess his hand is expensive cards. I really hope when Sandy draws a land that the 4-drop he plays is like a Gideon or a Planeswalker or Elspeth or something, so I can force it. If it's a creature like a Hero of Bladehold, get ugly. And yeah, I mean, I just need to draw some action, I guess. Like I've got Oko, Garruk, Krasis. Even drawing one of the big things could be okay here. Skull Clamp, yeah, with this Rex Sage. Green Sun Zenith counts as a big thing at this point in the game. So yeah, I've got some decent outs. And I have a lot of time, but I don't have infinite time. Land, go. Don't want to say land. Yeah. Let's take our 3. Look, if Forces does hit something, if Rex Sage hits something, then, you know, maybe we've got a decent shot here. Sandy's draw is weird. My draw has been horrific so far. What did I keep? 4 spells, 3 lands, and I've drawn 5 lands so far. Okay. He's going for it. Well, I don't have a way to punish this because I'm playing blue-green. And pass the turn. No plays on 4 mana? No, he's got to have something here. Resto Angel? The Wanderer? No? Is Sandy white-red? Could he just have a bunch of red cards in hand? I mean, that is possible. But either way, I don't really like the position I'm in. I mean, I like that I'm playing against an aggro deck and I have 16 life still and I'm about to have 8 mana, so like any action spell is great, but well, at least Force of Will means that I can prevent Sandy's first play, whether it's a creature or not. And we'll be hard casting this Force of Will, I'll tell you that much. What are they up to? Nice. Teammates up a game. Also, maybe Sandy plays a non-basic at some point and I get to Wasteland. That would be cool. This is such a weird game. Neither of us have done anything. I've cast a Time Walk and 2 creatures. He's cast a 1-drop and a 3-drop and nothing else, and it's about to be his turn 7. I have a hard time imagining what's going on, really. I mean, I'm going to go to 13 now, I guess. The stupid Angels hit me 4 times. Really? No plays? Oh, here we go. We're doing something. Figure of Destiny. I'm not really thrilled about this, but Figure is going to be a problem soon, so I'm going to counter it. Oh, he had multiple plays. Oh, yes, so good. It ended up that Sandy played the equipment and then didn't have... I guess I'm going to do this first. And then didn't have the time to equip it. It's going to be brutal when I draw a Trox off this, and now that was my white source, but that's okay. Rex Sage, use the ability, and then pass the turn. I'm going to leave up Force Negation rather than casting Wall of Blossoms. I can cast Wall of Blossoms next turn. Okay. Well, I got to use Force of Will and Rex Sage in advantageous ways, so that helps. He's on 5 mana now. I'm going to 10 here, so getting close, especially with Mother of Runes in play. It's kind of scary because Mother Runes. Oh, there's the Hero Blade hold. All right. Gonna need some action soon here. I guess we'll start with Preordain. Natural Order. Garruk, Oko. See, this would have been so good earlier, but I don't think it works great here. I could put Oko on top. I'm going to put Garruk on the bottom. The problem is, so let's say I attack with Thragtusk and he blocks with Mother of Runes or blocks with Hero and gives it pro green. Then I can play Oko and steal Mother of Runes if I want. But what if he just takes it and goes to 10, which I think he will at this point in time. Then I play Oko. And what am I doing with Oko? I guess I'm making a food, passing. Oko goes to 6 loyalty. Next turn I get attacked for a bunch. I think I'm just going to put this on the bottom and try to draw Natural Order. Or Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage would also be a nice one here. Okay, Natural Order. Is this lethal? I mean, I kind of assume it is. I have 2 attackers. Because now I Natural Order sacking Wall of Blossoms, or probably Delighted Halfling. And then I'll have 5 creatures in play, so that's plus 15, plus 12, 27. Yeah, all right. Barring a Swords to Plowshares, this is pretty good. What do I want to have in play the least? Actually, it might be Sylvan Caryatid here, since all the other creatures are untapped. Okay, doesn't have swords. So I'm going to attack for 27. And that should be enough. All right, Natural Order. I'm glad I dug for Natural Order. That was, in fact, the game. Probably can take out this Force of Negation as well. Okay. I really think it's possible Sandy has another color in hand. I don't know. I like Hornet Queen against them in general. Force of Negation looked kind of bad. Thieving Skydiver usually is good against Sandy, especially if he took that Stoneforge, so he might have multiple pieces of equipment. Like Rex Sage is good for the same reason. I could take out Force of Will. It wouldn't be crazy. The idea behind taking out Force of Will is that I don't have tons of blue cards, and Sandy's not going to have like the most high leverage plays. Like forcing a turn 2 creature is just not that good. Yeah, maybe that's fine. And then Wasteland looked kind of bad. I'd rather just play, maybe just play another spell, honestly. Maybe I just keep the Force of Will there, or I could pull the Talisman. Talisman could also be decent here. Just ramping to some good things. All right. That worked out all right. Mostly it was that both of our draws were terrible. Like, I played a turn 3 Thragtusk and they did nothing for 5 turns. He played a turn 3 Ghirapur, turn 4 Mother Rune, and then he did nothing for like 5 turns. I could also consider siding in Plains, Path to Exile to Fairy. What would I cut? I'd cut Talisman. It's possible to cut Garruk Wildspeaker. It's kind of bad against things like Mother Runes or Flyers. Like I could, would I rather have, instead of Talisman, Skydiver, or Garruk? Yeah, I mean, I like Path. Teferi is just okay. I don't know. I think this seems fine. If we can get a little Snapcaster Time Walk action, I wouldn't mind that. On the draw here, well, I am going to keep this hand, but I don't love it. I mean, the Tree Speaker obviously makes it pretty nice, especially since Tree Speaker, oh, well, I'm glad I have the Skydiver in my deck. All right, can I just draw blue here at some point? That would be nice. Tree Speaker against mono white is usually pretty good because it's basically like a little Soul Ring. Though obviously a lot worse than actual Soul Ring. And mono white doesn't usually have too many ways to kill it. There's some, but you know, Council's Judgment, Dismember, Swords to Plowshares. Path is not actually that effective at killing a mana dork because you just get a land. Solitude, but that's kind of on the expensive side. I mean, also Sandy's Draw here is pretty good. If I draw Skyclave Apparition, yeah, that's a way to kill it, all right. That's unfortunate. All right, well, if I draw an island and I can steal that Mox in 2 turns, I would be pretty happy. Oh, that was actually a pretty nice draw. Because now I can use my mana and it stops the Adonto Vanguard. It's a shame this Tree Speaker is not long for this world. Island next turn to steal the Mox would be so good. The Wall of Blossoms was a fantastic draw. It almost like killed the Adonto Vanguard and drew a card. Just straight up. All right, Skyclave, kill your Draga Tree Speaker. Oh man, if Sandy doesn't have a land here too. All right, all right. Be so good if I could just pounce here. Okay, no land yet. I'm not under like the most pressure, but I am falling behind pretty hard if I don't make a play next turn. This game I kept a 3-lander and I haven't drawn a land yet. Let's see if we can revert that trend. Figure of Destiny, okay. Selfless Spirit, well, land or bust. Oh, draw a card. All right, we're irrevocably far behind at this point, I think. Yeah, I don't really want the forces. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? 1, 2, 3. Should I play another island? 6, 9, 10, 11. No, because I still have the 2 blue sources off of my green creatures here. I definitely like Skydiver. I haven't seen a reason to have Wasteland in the deck right now. There's also Dakfade and Prismari Command off Mountain. But Skydiver accomplishes a lot of the same, and adding a Mountain is even a little bit worse because I don't have Horizon Canopy. So, oh, I also have the Talisman that provides blue mana. Yeah, I think I just needed to draw blue there and didn't. Okay. Then the other option would be these 2 cards. I don't think Teferi's even that good, so let's just roll with this. All right. Come on, baby. On the play. I've got to keep this hand. It's a real shame drawing Atraxa. So I'm not 0% to cast Atraxa, but I'm really not likely to. My outs are to draw Horizon Canopy plus Sylvan Caryatid, Delighted Halfling plus one of those 2, or draw Thieving Skydiver and Sandy draws Mox Jet and I steal the Mox Jet. But it's not the most likely. Let's start on Arbor Elf. Turn 2, I get to Talisman plus Sakura Tribe Elder. No Mother Runes, please. I'm humbly requesting. I could leave up Mana Leak on turn 2. Cool. But I think I'd rather just get my creatures into play. Let's go. Elvish Mystic. Sakura Tribe Elder. Pass. Brutal to be on 7 mana and not be able to play Atraxa. I needed some more of the Rainbow Dorks. Figure of Destiny. Sure. Don't think I sack the Tribe Elder yet. Is that right? Yeah, might as well wait. Oh, Mana Vault. Okay. Well, Mana Leak might be good next turn as a result. Let's just play Talisman like this and pass. So I could time walk here, but I kind of feel like I want to use time walk on a turn where I'm like getting something out of it, whether that's playing a creature or what. I'm going to mana leak this. Basically whatever it is. Lauren of the Third Path. Yeah. I think it's worth mana leaking. Into Adonto Vanguard, sure. You can attack with Figure of Destiny here if he wants. I think I take it. Because I can block with Tribe Elder on Adonto Vanguard next turn. Oh, interesting. Okay, well that actually... Garruk. +1. Time Walk. Do I want to sack Tribe Elder? I have 7 mana with Garruk. The only card I can't cast if I draw it is Crater Hoof. So let's go. Draw. Oh, Skull Clamp? Okay. I like this a lot. All right, so let's go. Untap my land. Play Skull Clamp. I have a lot of mana now. Skull Clamp this, because I haven't used Garruk yet. I'm about to draw a lot of cards here. Let's get this going. I didn't even sack my Elder yet, so it's some good value. If I can find Snapcaster here, we're going to have a disgusting turn. I mean, oh, is he going to... Okay, Sandy, I think, has Solitude in hand, would be my guess. Oh, interesting. Krasis. Okay, this looks like a fine time for Krasis. Here, let's get Krasis in here. Because I can play it for 6 mana. This puts Garruk up to 5, so Garruk survives a turn of attacks. And Sandy can make one of his creatures unblockable, but he can't make both unblockable with Mother of Runes. I do feel like he's got Solitude white card, probably Solitude 2 white cards to be honest, in hand. And then next turn with the Snapcaster Time Walk, I feel like I should be able to pull this out. Drawing Atraxa was a little unfortunate, but we're getting Skyclaved here. Sure. What are we Skyclaving is the question. Probably the Krasis? Oh, maybe the Skull Clamp. Okay, I'm really glad it wasn't Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp's like a lot more critical to my game plan here. What am I going to Green Suns for? Thragtusk? Or a Dork, but probably a Thragtusk. I mean, I guess Green Suns for Tree Speaker is like a Divination. You spend 2 mana to get the Tree Speaker, 1 mana to equip it. Okay, so we're going to hit Garruk for 3 here. And he's going to offer the figure trade? No, he does not. So, do I want a land off Sakura Tribe Elder, or do I want 2 cards? Probably just 2 cards, right? It seems like that's better. Okay, so let's start by figuring out. We have 4, 5, 6, and 8 mana. 4 mana left after I go Snapcaster Time Walk. Green Suns gets not the best suite of things, but maybe I can build up to Garruk. Not Garruk. Craterhoof. Let's start by clamping the Sakura Tribe Elder. And I got to remember that I'm decently likely to get hit by Solitude if I go for like a Craterhoof line that barely works, that sort of thing. I mean, I have 7 mana left, so I have a good amount of mana to do stuff this turn. Skull Clamp works slightly at cross purposes with Craterhoof Behemoth, of course, because I want more creatures in play for Craterhoof, but this should let me draw enough action here, is my guess. I mean, you really don't want to Solitude that. That doesn't really make sense. Okay. Thieving Skydiver, I don't really want to steal the Mana Vault, so I probably won't do that. Let's go... I think what I'm going to do is Snapcaster Mage. Target the Time Walk. Time Walk. I can untap 2 lands, and I can either Green Suns for 2 or play a Thieving Skydiver. If I Green Suns for 2, I could get Caryatid, but then I can't Green Suns for Craterhoof later. Let's see, next turn. I mean, if I draw a land next turn, I could just Green Suns for a Craterhoof, but let's say, what if I Garruk and make a creature, clamp the Snapcaster, then I'm pretty likely to have drawn a land, right? And then next turn, I tap my elf, I use Garruk, I Craterhoof, and I just don't have that much in play. That doesn't seem great. So the question is, do I want to minus this turn or minus next turn? Or just plus both turns? I could plus and play Skydiver. I guess maybe I start by clamping the Snapcaster. And then untap these 2 lands. Just cast the Skydiver. Draw. Probably attack with the Skydiver for 2 here. And I'm just going to draw some more cards this turn. Probably clamp the Skydiver after this, and then play Thragtusk Halfling, and then make a Beast with Garruk, something like that. And then next turn, maybe I can Green Suns for Craterhoof. I'll have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I'm assuming Garruk's going to die, though. Okay. Let's go clamp the Skydiver. Draw a Tree Speaker. Oh, next turn I can cast a Atraxa with Delighted Halfling and Tree Speaker. Or, sorry, and Horizon Canopy. Threg. I mean, we're not in a huge hurry here to get things done either. Like, we're under very little pressure. Like, the sort of thing that could cause me to lose from here would be like Sandy manages to like Solitude something and then play an Armageddon, but that's kind of difficult for him to do. Yeah. There's not much, like even like an initiative card or something would be, I don't know, tough. I guess if I untap with Garruk, can he kill it? He goes up to 4, and then you'd have to have a land to triple pump Figure and give it protection. Interesting. Because if I untap with... Ooh, no, I want to play the Halfling. If I untap with Garruk... Yeah, I'm missing out on having a Beast in play. That's actually fine, I think. Because I get to play Tree Speaker. And then I get to equip the Thragtusk, I think is what I want to equip. Pass the turn. So now I just spent about 20 more mana than Sandy has this game. All right, I think we're going to get a little dub here. Land. I mean, like I guess he goes get in here, but then doesn't do anything else. That doesn't seem like it's very close to a win, given the board positions at respective life totals. And the fact that I'll still have a ton of mana afterwards. So that's probably not going to happen. He could evoke Solitude, but then that uses the last 2 cards in hand, so can't have like Resto or Ephemerate. I guess I think I hated the Ephemerate. Yeah. But, so yeah, Mother of Runes. So we're going to knock Garruk down to 1. We're okay with that. That is acceptable. We're actually going to get to hardcast Atraxa in this game, which is pretty funny. Doot, 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 doot. Counter that. And then if I find natural order here, I can then natural order out Crater Hoof this turn. Okay. Pretty likely to find natural order as well. Natural order, Oko, Hornet Queen, Forest. And untap 2 lands. It is natural order time. I am not worried about mana tithe here. I'm going to natural order. I'm going to sack the Elvish Mystic, I think. Let's get Crater Hoof. I mean, the Atraxa can't attack. Maybe he Solitudes like one thing, but this is like a ton of damage even outside of that. Like if one thing gets removed, this is still 17 damage. And I'm at 25. Okay. Whew. We got there. A nice round 1. Skull Clamp really did some work. That was a lot of fun. Skull Clamp, Time Lock, Garruk just combined to let me draw my whole deck, play all my cards. Alrighty, on to the next round. Alrighty, time for round 2, battling against Hank. Hank is blue, like a Grixis deck of some kind. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep this hand. What's not a bad place to be. I mean, as usual, if Jiraga Tree Speaker gets answered, you know, that's a little bit unfortunate. But this hand gets to go turn 1, Tree Speaker, turn 2, level it up. Turn 3, I could natural order depending on the situation. I could cast Garruk, untap 2 lands, cast Rex Age is kind of nice too. All right, but we're going to start with Tree Speaker. And hope we don't get too fatal pushed or something. Swamp go. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. All right. Well, that makes the the natural order plan a little less appealing, I would say. I'm not going to natural order a non-lethal Crater Hoof. Yeah, or get a chance to natural order at all, as it turns out. Okay, Mana Leak's not bad, because now I can go Mana Leak your play, and if I draw a land, play Garruk. Also, since I've drawn the Horizon Canopy, I have a decent out of drawing Delighted Halfling or Sylvan Caryatid to cast this Atraxa here. All right, I guess I'd rather have cast Garruk this turn, but getting Sylvan Caryatid is pretty nice. It's pretty hard to kill, and now I actually have the right mana to cast Atraxa, so if this Garruk lives, I'm actually casting it fairly soon here. Okay, let's go Garruk, Wild Speaker. +1, so I can cast this Wall of Blossoms. Also, Garruk on 4 is a lot harder to burn out. There's a lot of 3 damage burn spells. Okay, I would have preferred a land, but Oko's okay. Ooh, okay, don't play a dragon this turn, please. If I don't get hit by a discard or a dragon and I draw a land, which the third part's not that hard, right? And if Garruk lives, if all those things happen, yeah, they did. I just need to draw the land. I can just slam Atraxa here. All right, come on, land. Whew. I'm just going to go Oko. Oko my Wall of Blossoms. Attack Liliana for 1 because it still has the -2 effect. And then make a beast. I don't like putting Garruk in the range of a 3 damage spell, but I think putting a beast in play is going to be a lot better than doing nothing. I could have also cast Thragtusk here, but getting Oko going seems a lot better. Still a land short of just casting Atraxa. The good thing is if Caryatid doesn't die and Horizon Canopy doesn't die, and they're not very likely to die in either of those, then Atraxa getting cast will eventually happen. It's not like I'm taking a lot of damage. I have a Thragtusk to prolong the game. Also, the Oko, ooh, milling 2. Hold on, milling 2. Come on, miss. They hit Shieldred? Oh, lucky. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Well, actually, hold on. Can I win here? What if I sack the Oko? Make a token, sack Caryatid, and then Craterhoof gives +4, +4, 14, 23. It's almost lethal. No, that's not quite lethal. Guess I'll just sack the Wall of Blossoms. That's okay. I can also always Oko my Sylvan Caryatid if I really want to. Land would still have been good there. Brutal. I need to have 8 cards in graveyard. This is a Menace 4/5. Yeah, I think I just Elk the Shieldred. I'm going to attack the Liliana with my Beast token. I know trading off when you have Natural Order Thragtusk is weird, but I want to get things off the Natural Order Craterhoof, of course, that is what I meant. I want to get things off the board because I have a bunch of Planeswalkers that I don't really want to get attacked. All right, Thragtusk, Halfling. Now, even if I don't draw a land next turn, I can cast the Atraxa here. And still pretty ahead on board. I guess the downside is this leads to reanimation stuff on Shieldred, but I don't know that Hank is really in doing tons of that. We'll see. This could be the initiative reanimate spell. All right, I guess I just sack the Thragtusk. So venturing into the Undercity. 19. Once again, what happens if I sack Oko? And then next turn, I minus Garrick. Natural Order, this turns into a Craterhoof +4/+4. That's 9, 18, +5, 23. And let's just sack Thragtusk here. Ooh, another play. Embereth Shieldbreaker as a blocker. Sure. Okay. Well, now I've drawn the land. 8 cards in graveyard. Don't care about initiative next turn. Let's just go for Atraxa here. I think that's just the safest. And the cool thing about Atraxa too is I don't have to draw the Craterhoof ever. Oh, Time Walk. I do like that. All right, let's take Sorcery, Instant. Oh, I can take Creature as a blue card to pitch to force, Artifact, Land. Wow, that was actually absurdly good. Let's... Do you want to nug that? Yeah, let's nug that into a 3/3. And... play Skull Clamp. All right, well, I feel like we've got this game locked up now. I have a 1/2 beast, so I'm not going to attack. Because now I've got... Force of Will, Pitching Krasis, and then Time Walk, Natural Order. Like, this is going to be enough to win the game by a lot. Initiative notwithstanding. All right. Fable, sure. With Force of Will in hand, I basically just want to Force of Will anything that will cause me to not win this game. Fable is not it, yeah. Okay, black-red grind 'em ups. Makes me want Teferi and Voice of Resurgence a little more. Path could also be okay. Embereth Shieldbreaker is annoying against Skull Clamp, but I'm not taking out Skull Clamp, obviously. Relic of Progenitus might be good. Just against the graveyard spell. What do I want to cut, though? Maybe I cut Wall of Blossoms. Oh, I could cut Rex Sage. I didn't see anything to kill. Do I want Hornet Queen? I like Thragtusk in this matchup. You just cast it and it's good. Wasteland didn't seem great. I could replace Wasteland with Plains if I want to get Teferi or Path in. Path doesn't also seem that great. Teferi could be good, but I don't know if I want to splash it. I could also just put in a Hornet Queen. I mean, I don't know. If these games go long, just casting Hornet Queen is pretty nice. So, I saw a red-blue Painland that draws a card, a Fiery Islet. That's not a big enough reason to have Wasteland. All right. I mean, not the best hand in the world, but I don't really like mulligan too many hands with Oko. Of course, the Drawn Island is not great. A Mana Dork would have been awesome. A blue card to pitch to Force of Negation would have been nice. Oh, kept a landlight hand over there. All right, blue card, Mana Leak. I mean, Natural Order is not terrible. Almost guarantee Hank's got a Fable in hand. Oh, no. We just led on Fiery Islet, huh? Whatever. If you got a counterspell, you got a counterspell. I'm not gonna play around it. Next turn I get to Natural Order Atroxa if the Oko lives. Oko does not appear to be living. Oh, Opposition Agent. Well, I probably shouldn't cast Natural Order with that in play then. Okay, I need to draw not a land. Natural Order was not a bad draw because that means that, like, at some point I might go turn 5, play an Elf if I draw it, play Natural Order, immediately get a Troxa, and that would be really good. Hank's got to be a landlight hand. You don't play Islet turn 2 if you have any other land you can play. Unless you have a red or blue spell you really want to cast, but he didn't play a counterspell, so that seems less likely. Unless he's got a burn spell, Oko will likely live here. Dark Ritual, I don't like that. I guess we'll see what this is. Dark Ritual, Murderous Rider. Him. Took my one good card. Okay. I mean, I guess Natural Order wasn't doing much against the Opposition Agent. I will say that. Yeah, I just have to do the play I don't usually love doing. Garruk, make a beast. If you can kill the beast, then you get to kill the Garruk. This Force Negation, no blue card situation hasn't worked out great. Hank drew lands, has 3 spells in hand. I assume we're losing Garruk and the beast here. We'll see, though. Yeah. Okay. Garruk down, and now we're just like, all right, let's draw Hydroid Krasis or something. Jiraga Tree Speaker. All right, I'm just going to play this and not level it up because I want to keep up Force of Negation. And I can crack a food if I got nothing else to do. Incinerate, I don't care. I'm not going to counter that. My Jiraga Tree Speaker wasn't winning any records. So here's the question. Do I crack Horizon Canopy? Mesmeric Fiend, sure. Resource light game. Definitely cracking the food. Makes it a lot harder to cast Atroxa, but I can still cast Thragtusk if I draw it. So I'm just going to keep this in hand because of Embereth Shieldbreaker. I saw also somehow drawn 5 islands, and I guess I drew 3 forests. 2 just got discarded, or 1 got discarded, 1 got sacrificed. All right, I'm going to go to 12, and then you cast a Murderous Rider. Is that kind of what's going on? Looks like it. All right. Thragtusk would be nice. Dork would be nice. Haven't drawn a lot this game. Got him, Fatal Push, Incinerate, Mesmeric, Fiended, traded for a lot of cards, but in terms of action cards, I had an Oko and a Garruk, and that was about it so far. And now I'm just going to die because I haven't played a spell in 3 turns to a ragtag crew. Got to worry about that opposition agent. Okay. If I draw Krasis next turn, I'll be pretty happy. Classic. All right. Well, yeah, I don't want Thieving Skydiver. Relic seems fine. Still don't really want Wasteland all that much. How much do I want Voice of Resurgence and Teferi as just grindy cards? Maybe against discard, I don't like Force of Negation that much, and we're all playing 1-for-1s. All right, let's put in Plains. Let's put in that. Let's put in that. Maybe I just cut down on these and don't try to fight it that way. Let's get this in there and kind of just hope to get to, we're probably going to get to top decks a lot of these games, in which case I hope I just play a Thragtusk or, well, Atraxa is always the one thing, just Teferi, that sort of thing. I'm going to be on the play here. Well, this is a turn 2 Oko. No Fatal Push, please. If my Delighted Halfling dies, this hand obviously gets quite a bit worse. If Delighted Halfling dies, then I have to just hope I draw an island, because then I can go Mana Leak into Oko, and that's pretty good too. No. Yeah. All right. Island. Didn't run short on islands draw last game, did I? Well, I'm glad I set it out of forest, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to get him to Mesmeric Fiended now, and it's going to be ugly. Okay. It hit the 2 weakest cards in my hand. Island? No. One thing I like about siding in Hornet Queen is if I draw a natural order, I can just go get that in the middle of the game. Sure. That doesn't even matter that much. It just, can I draw blue? All right. Well, really late, but if Hank doesn't have Murderous Rider, and I can untap, like if this turn's play isn't super good, and I get to untap with Mana Leak, I'll feel pretty decent about the situation. Obviously drawing Elvish Mystic the turn that they were going to play a Liliana is just a beating. But, okay, I didn't get Snap Murderous Rider. That's something. That's something. We're going to -2 Liliana and hope to hit again. What do we got? Oh, we just thought about it for a while and then made the obvious play. Fair enough. Okay, let's... guess Wall Blossoms is a start. Wall Blossoms into natural order could be something. I'm going to wait on the Sakura Tribe Elder because I'm not really in a hurry to do that, and I've got a Mana Leak in hand. Yeah, this hand went downhill fast. The Fatal Push needed to draw. If I drew Island on 2, then I could have gone like counter to him, play the Oko, maybe still gets Murderous Ridered. Yeah, actually, honestly, drawing Island Order might not have been that much better because I guess the difference is I would have a Troxa in hand if I got to counter the him, and having a Troxa in hand could lead to something pretty good. No plays. Oh, I see. We've got opposition agent in hand. Because I have to make a beast because that Liliana is going to start threatening to ultimate very soon here. I don't actually have a way to to stop that. What I do have is the hope of drawing natural order. Yeah, the problem is opposition agent's going to make natural order not very good. And I guess time walk is actually what I'm really hoping to draw. So the ultimate here makes an emblem. You get 2 zombies, then you get 4 zombies. Is this a zombie? It is. So you could even bump it up a little with that. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose this game. Just all my stuff got killed and I stumbled a bit. Like, I had a good opening hand. Obviously, you're not going to mulligan any turn 2 Oko hand ever, but killing all my stuff and then having me stumble really didn't work out well. I guess I'm losing my Wall of Blossoms, which is kind of a shame because the Craterhoof plan gets a little harder once that happens. Oh. All right. Yeah, all right. Picture perfect red-black draws against a mediocre one of mine. Not going to work out. We're 1-1. I think we can get to 2-1 though. Alrighty, time for round 3. I'm 1-1, battling against Falcon Eye. I'll keep this hand. Who's playing like white, a 4-color mid-range base white with like Parallax Wave and Adeline, but also like green, blue, and black cards. I don't know. The Atroxa colors. Like there's a Creeping Tarpon into the Plains. Yeah, we'll go Sylvan Caryatid. I mean, this is a great draw. Turn 3, Oko. Turn 4, Thragtusk, assuming I draw a land next turn. So, okay, didn't get countered. Let's make a food, pass the turn. And yeah, even if I miss on lands next turn, I might go like Tribe Elder, Green Suns for 1. And then maybe follow up with a big Crisis. We're gonna get like Oko Vindicated or something. What's going on here? I mean, if Oko doesn't get answered, you win the game pretty easily. Blade Splicer. Okay, well, that's going to make it so Oko can't attack like right away, but still feels pretty good. Oh, interesting. Let's just make this into a dork. I think I'm actually going to Wasteland the Zagoth Triome. Play a Tribe Elder. And then Green Suns for 1 here. And I think I actually get the Tree Speaker because I don't need the mana next turn thanks to the Tribe Elder. And then next turn I can go level up Tree Speaker, play Thragtusk, and then the turn after that make a big Hydroid Crisis is kind of my plan. And by playing Tribe Elder, I get to block the Golem if it attacks, which it probably won't. So I guess the risk factor here is if I go to level up Tree Speaker and Falcon Eye kills it, but that seems like a luxury they don't have. Oh, okay. That is interesting. I'm still going to sack this, I think, because if I don't draw a land here, it'll be kind of awkward. 5 cards in hand. Let's go. Yeah, we're just going to do this. We're going to let the mana leak happen here. Oh, we have Snuff Out? No, I guess not. Or sorry, we're gonna tap out of Mana Leak, and then I think we're just gonna make Hypnotic Spectre into an idiot because I have blockers for idiots. If the Golem wants to attack Oko for 3, the Oko can take 3. Oko's a pretty resilient planeswalker. And then now, if I draw a land, I can cast Hydroid Crisis for 6, which is pretty nice. Okay, you can bounce my food token. Sure. Really not that big of a deal. Well, is this attack good? I don't think so. I just block there. Then I get a 3/3 back to block to attack that Teferi. All right. Let's go attack Teferi first. And I think I'm going to play a 4/4 Krasis. Well, we'll see. If Teferi dies here, that will change my play. Because I can't draw 3 cards off Krasis. I can just draw 2. But if Teferi's dead, I make a 4/4 Krasis and hope to draw a land to have Mana Leak up. If we're chumping with Blade Splicer, then no, Teferi's dead. So I'm just going to make a 4/4 Krasis. It's big enough to block. And if I draw a land, I get to have Mana Leak up, which is pretty nice. Okay, draw 2 cards. Nice. Land and make a food. Pass the turn. This feels like a dub here. I mean, it's cube. Powerful things can happen, as I am often reminded. But the fact that I'm really far ahead on board and also have a Mana Leak, and also next turn I can Green Suns for Atraxa. Yeah, no thanks. I'm going to pass on the Parallax Wave. That might just be game right there. I wouldn't even be surprised if Falcon Eye scooped. So next turn, yeah, if I draw a land, I just Green Suns for Crater Hoof, and then like that's that. I mean, barring a daze, because I have all the forces. Yeah. All right. Hornet Queen actually looks kind of good here. I think I'm going to keep Force of Negation and Force of Will against Parallax Wave type stuff. Yeah, that last match was tough. Didn't feel like that matchup was too bad, but that was just like the perfect curve of answers, which is what that deck's trying to do for sure. When you draft red, black, mid, that's your game plan. Thinking of boarding out Rex Sage. Yeah, I'm going to try doing that. Well, if we can pull a 2/1 here, I'll be pretty happy. Do I want Path or Teferi, Hero of Dominaria? I don't know. Force of Negation can counter Time Raveler, but is also bad if they have a Time Raveler in play, so I do have to keep that in mind, I suppose. Definitely keeping Wasteland. They have a bunch of Triomes and stuff. Didn't see a Skydiver, good Skydiver target, so I'm not bringing that in. Okay. Game deuce. Up a game here. All right. I mean, I will keep this hand. Classic Atraxas. I actually have all the colors to cast Atraxa. I mean, assuming I get a blue at some point. Black, white. There we go. Turn 1, I guess I'll just play the Skull Clamp. I don't think it's too bad to do that. I have the Rex Sage. Teammate has Knight of Autumn. There's not, I mean, I guess there's Loran. There's not that much. I think Sandy has the Loran, actually. I mean, I remember Mana Leaking it. So given all that, I think just playing the Skull Clamp is probably for the best. Okay. And then turn 2, I'm just going to get a Triome here. So the question is, do I turn 2 Wasteland or turn 2 Caryatid? Well, I guess it depends what gets played here. Because my normal inclination, interesting, is, yeah, let's just go Caryatid. Wish I had my Rex Sage. And then I can maybe make a play next turn. I just feel like wasting when they played a Signet isn't good. Okay, well, then they play that. But Wastelanding, we'd be in like basically the same position a turn later, presumably. Wow, there really isn't much I can get here. Oh, you know what I can do? I can go Sakura Tribelder. Green Suns for 1. Get Delighted Halfling, and then next turn I can just cast an Atraxa. All right, turn 4 Atraxa is kind of cool. I'm not even going to take damage this turn because of the Tribelder. I mean, assuming Falcon Eye doesn't kill my Delighted Halfling. Block. Go get an island here. I mean, initiative is good, but an Atraxa that finds like a Time Walk can definitely do something. No, my Atroxa. That was my whole plan. I'm definitely bringing Rec Sage back in now that I've seen Brain Maggot and Talisman of Unity. Okay. And Stoneforge. Getting Cauldron complete. Well, you can't really even Rec Sage that. Let's play Thraggy. And equip Thrag Tusk with Skull Clamp here. Pass the turn. I mean, I'm still at 20. Cauldron Complete's going to come knocking on my door, though. I mean, my deck's powerful. Time Walk and Natural Order can set up some pretty good stuff. Like, imagine, and I have kind of a lot of mana. I've done a lot of ramping this game. Imagine I end up lining up like Garruk, Time Walk, Snapcaster, and then Natural Order for Craterhoof or something like that. 3 cards in hand on that side. They have gone for the aggressive side of the dungeon, which is generally the better one. Oh man, is this a Parallax Wave? Well, I'm not going to beat that. That's unrealistic. Like, Parallax Wave's already pretty busted, but when they already have a huge advantage, obviously Parallax Wave is too much. I mean, I'm going to take 10 here, I guess. Okay. And I guess if I drew some into Elf, into Clamp It, into Time Walk. Okay. I will put back in the Rec Sage. Not that that would have mattered that game very much. Do I want that Force of Negation? Seeing Undermount Adventure and Brain Maggot makes me not want it. I definitely keeping Force of Will, though. Don't think I want Skydiver. I mean, you can't steal Conjure Complete. It costs like 20,000 mana. Stealing Talisman is nice, but I don't think that's very realistic. Do I want Teferi or Path to Exile? No. I think we're good. I think we are good. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that was a turn 3 Undermount Adventure, though I think without the Brain Maggot, I could have played Atroxa, and without the Parallax Wave, I could have gotten to like block with Ragtusk, draw 2, do some stuff. But the combination of those 3 things, which, I mean, that's just, they played 3 things that disrupted me. They played a win condition, a discard spell, and then a creature removal spell, or Parallax Wave is a little more than a creature removal spell, kills all my creatures. But the combination of those 3, yes, they did do the trick. And hopefully we can just lead on a quick Oko again. Or a quick Natural Order. To a nice little Atroxa. Stealing Cauldron Complete doesn't even do anything either. What a card. Yeah, I mean, Stoneforge into Cauldron is pretty nice. This deck can go over the top. Craterhoof and Atroxa do that pretty nicely. But turn 2 Stoneforge for Cauldron Complete is a pretty big threat. Alright, on the play here, let's go. Yeah, makes me a little nervous having no blue mana, but I certainly can't mold this hand. So what do I lead with? I guess I lead with Tree Speaker. Turn 1 Tree Speaker, turn 2 level it up, play Arbor Elf, and if I draw another 1-drop, play that. This is the kind of hand where Skull Clamp would just pop off. So Skull Clamp would be nice. Natural Order would be nice. What I really don't want to see is just immediately draw Atroxa. Probably going to draw Force of Will immediately. Because then turn 3, I have 6 mana and I get to play Garruk. And then maybe untap lands, maybe make a beast. It'll kind of depend on what the opposition has going. Also, if one of these forests was a wasteland, this hand would be really sick. If I could change the cards in my hand to be better, my hand would definitely be better. I will admit that. Falcon, it's taking a long time. Does that mean they're mulliganing? I guess we'll find out. Probably does. Wasteland very good in this matchup. The 5-color deck or 4-color deck. I guess no red that we've seen. With a lot of tap lands, like at least 3 tap lands that we know of. Wasteland can do a pretty good job slowing them down, but guess we'll have to see how this turns up. I haven't seen much 1-mana removal, so turn 1 Tree Speaker has to be pretty good. And then, yeah, it's on 6 cards. And then turn 3 Garruk also sounds pretty decent. Oh, Krasis? Okay, well, Krasis is good if I can draw a green or blue. Drawing a powerful single blue card is not a bad thing. All right. And Falcon is on all basics. Sure. I mean, I guess you actually have to take the Rex Sage because it blows up the Brain Maggot. This is an enchantment. Oh, and I drew that? All right, well, I would have probably taken the Rex Sage as my... Well, I guess that's not true. No, that wasn't a bad play at all. If you take the Rex Sage, I just cast the Garruk. Now I still have access to both, but it's a little slower. But now Falcon Eye needs another discard spell, or I'm just going to slam a giant Hydroid Krasis next turn. And we know there's no him. Adeline? That's not going to get the job done. Land wouldn't be a terrible draw. So now, let's see. I think I go Garruk, make a 4/4 Krasis. Because Garruk effectively only costs 2 mana. Hold on. You can't use Arbor Elf mid spell casting. All right, 4/4 Krasis. We're really doing it. This was such a smooth draw. So what's the worst that can happen here? Oh, it's Parallax Wave. I know what it is. Falcon Eye definitely has it. Okay. Oh, that's not a Parallax Wave at all. Way less bad. I think I just win now. Let's see. Garruk's getting attacked for 4, so I guess... Which one do I block? I guess I block the Adeline. It's probably fine. Let's see. Play Elvish Mystic. Turn this into a Crater Hoof. I'll have 4 creatures in play. So that's 19. I guess I might as well preordain first. Troxa. Oh, okay. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to natural order into a Troxa and then Time Walk, hopefully. Because if I find Time Walk, and then this game ends right on the spot. And even if I don't, it's pretty good. Okay, I didn't find Time Walk, but I found a bunch of other stuff. So, Artifact... Creature, land, planeswalker, or sorry, artifact, planeswalker, land, creature. I do want wasteland as well, probably. And the question is, I think I just get Hornet Queen for the creature. And then now... What to do? I guess what I could do is I could go Wasteland your Underground Sea, untap 2 lands, play Oko, tap for green, play Elvish Mystic, play Skull Clamp. And then I could Elk the Adeline. Yeah, I actually am going to Elk the Adeline. I feel like it's a lot safer to do that. Because that way, if Falcon Eye does play something like Parallax Wave, then Adeline is not just like a 7/3 or whatever. Like, doesn't make another token and get buffed. This just makes it a lot safer. Blade Splicer. Okay, yeah, that is game. Because now I can just Snapcaster Mage Natural Order, the usual play. I do have to tap or sack my elf. Oh, I guess I can make a green creature. Yeah, that's probably fine. Do this. Snapcaster Mage. I haven't Snapcastered Natural Order very often. Actually, hold on. Make Skull Clamp into an elk, and then I have all the Force of Wills, so it's hard to imagine this happening. And then Crater Hoof, attack for 20 million. There we go. All right, 2-1. Let's check in on the team, and we did our part, I would say. All right, this is the update I like to make. We did end up winning. The 2-1 was critical. We barely got there, but, well, this deck was really good. Could have used a little bit more mana base fixing. I always think it's rough when you're trying to cast, turn 1 Delighted Halfling, but also have Mana Leak, Preordain, and even double blue cards in your deck. Though, of course, the forces are kind of double blue, kind of not. Really, the Hydroid Crisis held the room together. It was a high drop that you could also pitch to forces. Turned out I actually didn't play against that many decks where Force Negation was great. When you play against like kind of grindy mid-range decks that don't have the most powerful plays and are trying to trade 1-for-1, you don't really like it, or decks with lots of creatures. But when you play against like a combo deck or a control deck with heavy hitters, then this is like going to be one of your best cards. I also really love when you can natural order for a card draw machine or a finisher, and so natural order was perfect in this deck. Had all the low end I wanted. Fall Blossoms carried it. Plus, we had some really good Skull Clamp games too. So this deck played out nicely, not even considering the fact that it had a Time Walk Snapcaster as like a combo finish. And of course, Oko Thief of Crowns. Well, that was a victory, a very clean deck. This deck was cool. Quite a strong deck, and it did pretty well. Wouldn't have minded the 3-0. I feel like the matchup against Red-Black was going to be a close one, but still, 2-1 and we won the draft. No complaints here. As always, I appreciate you watching me fool around with these sweet, powerful cards. Cube Draft's a lot of fun, and as long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making them. I'll be back tomorrow with more drafts. I'll see you then.